The Russian government is saying that if the United States starts supplying Ukraine with longer-range missiles for its war effort, that it would represent a red line for Moscow. These are destroyed and abandoned tanks seen by Reuters in the town of Izum, the major logistics hub, recently retaken by Ukrainian troops, Z symbols used by Russian forces to identify themselves. Russian forces in eastern Ukraine are digging in and fortifying their defenses, according to a Ukrainian regional official who said it would be difficult for Ukrainian troops to repeat their recent rapid advances.
Russia-Ukraine war, President Vladimir Putin has once again denied allegations of Moscow being the reason behind a brewing energy crisis in Europe, saying that if Europe wants more gas, it should immediately lift sanctions that is preventing the opening of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Speaking to reporters following the SCO summit in Uzbekistan's Samarkand, Putin blamed what he called the green agenda for the energy crisis in Europe and insisted that Russia would fulfill its energy obligations despite the ongoing conflict.
Vladimir Putin's Russia poses the greatest current threat to NATO. Those are the words of German Chancellor Olaf Scholz in a keynote speech delivered a short time ago to Germany's armed forces, the Bundeswehr. Scholz told German military leaders that they should accept that Russia will define itself as an adversary to the European Union, the US and NATO for the foreseeable future. And he said Germany's armed forces must become the best equipped military force in Europe.
Authorities in central Italy are scrambling to evacuate residents after torrential rain and deadly flash floods hit the region of Marche late on Thursday. Helicopter images show the extent of the damage as locals start clean-up operations. Around 400 millimetres of rain fell in just a few hours, in a downpour far heavier than had been forecast. In total, the equivalent of 6 months of rain. The mayor of one of the towns badly hit described it as apocalyptic. More than 150 rescue operations have been carried out, with people taking refuge on rooftops and in trees airlifted to safety or evacuated in rafts.
These are concerning days for Palestinians in the occupied West Bank. Israeli security forces have been repeatedly carrying out military raids on Palestinians following alleged attacks on Israeli settlers and soldiers. This has been happening almost every night. Israeli media says these raids have been conducted as part of Operation Break the Wave, which started earlier this year in response to a series of attacks that killed 19 people inside Israel. The Israeli army has told TRT World that during the operation about 1,500 individuals suspected of involvement in terrorism have been detained.
Beijing on Friday imposed economic sanctions on executives at 2 American aerospace and defense firms, Boeing Defense and Raytheon, moves a foreign ministry spokeswoman said were retaliation for weapon sales to Taiwan. The sanctions targeting Boeing Defense President and CEO Ted Colbert and Raytheon Technologies boss Gregory Hayes come after the U.S. State Department earlier this month approved the sale of systems made by the defense firms to Taiwan.
Charles, this happened about an hour and a half ago. A member of the public, when walking through Westminster Hall, rushed the Queen's coffin. Now, they were quickly taken down by police and arrested. But I do have a release from Met Police. It says at 10 o'clock, that's London time, 10 p.m. on Friday, officers from the Met's Parliamentary and Diplomatic Protection Command detained a man in Westminster Hall following a disturbance. He was arrested for an offence under the Public Order Act and currently is in custody.
Now, Eskom has announced the implementation of stage 5 load shedding from 10 o'clock this morning. This will be until 5 a.m. on Monday. The power utility says this is due to a breakdown of 5 generating units each overnight at Kusile, Anwat and Camden, as well as 2 units at the Dua power station. It has warned that should there be any further breakdowns, higher stages of load shedding may be implemented at short notice.
A series of bank holdups across Lebanon in just a few hours. Depositors armed and demanding their money. They've been locked out of their accounts since the financial crisis began in late 2019. In most cases, they were able to get some of their funds. The raids on Friday followed 2 on Wednesday. Activists are promising more to come.